Alright, what the flip is up? It's Bryn once again. This is the second episode, which I am starting basically the same in every single way. I got to go to Chicago. I got to play some music there. I got to play my second gig, which I actually did get some cool footage for. So yeah, second episode. Hope you enjoy quite a bit. I'm going to talk a bit more about my philosophies and such and what drives me. So yeah. So I don't know how well you can hear me, but I want to talk about one of my main inspirations philosophically. That would be Marcus Aurelius. Obviously Jesus would be my main inspiration, but Marcus Aurelius, he was the Roman emperor. He had the ability to be as comfortable as he wanted. Now, instead of sleeping with women all day and having prostitutes and many, I don't know how many wives he had, but, I don't think he had a crazy amount compared to someone like Solomon. And instead of drinking all day and just living in pleasure continually, he chose to live a virtuous and moral life. One of the Marcus Aurelius quotes that really sticks out to me is, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." Let that sink in. Think about when you're not doing anything. You're basically acting like a dead person. I believe personally that is what depression is not doing things that you're made to do, behaving as though you're dead, kind of telling your mind and your body that that's what you are. It is the glory of a lion to go out and hunt. If you're not doing work, yes, work may be uncomfortable, but your soul will die. And no one is going to read a book about someone whose life was always easy and there's nothing interesting that happens in it. That's not fun, and that's not fulfilling. Anyways, here is me in Chicago playing with the Depeche Mode tribute band that I'm a part of, and then right afterwards, back in Tampa, which was actually before that gig, I am playing my second solo gig. I'm playing the one cover that we do actually play, and then lastly after that, I've got some more philosophical goodness just for you.
Please give me a check for 200 pounds for that. That's from the Burger King. The Burger King. French restaurants.
I'm going to talk about some things that are super important and I think are not talked about enough when it comes to comfortable living and such. Now, first off, masculinity was not something that I was taught, not something that naturally was taught to me through a mentor or some such. My father's a really strong and disciplined person, but he didn't necessarily teach me exactly what it meant to be a man, although you could argue that in some ways he's showed me a lot of that, and that has definitely benefited me. But to actually find out the logic behind being a man, I had to kind of look on YouTube, like a lot of young men are these days, looking on YouTube, and luckily I did find what I believe I needed. And to me, what it seems that a man is someone who is born out of the fire and works hard to push through adversity, to break through the ice, who is beaten down in the forge to eventually become a strong, powerful, beautiful sword. And that is what I believe a man is supposed to be. Someone who is competent in doing what they're supposed to do, strong, and especially responsible, and understands that they are responsible for everything within their life. Maybe not everything is their fault, but they take everything as I can and should fix this, and if I can't, if I really can't, I can't become a victim of this situation. I have to live the best I can regardless, and that's kind of taking responsibility for your own emotions and your own fate and such like that. So that's what I truly believe, and I have pretty much quit dating, and I'm completely celibate because I'm Christian. I'm saving myself for marriage, and so for me there's not a lot of purpose to dating. I see it as something that would distract me, and I'm fine with once in a while walking up to a girl, saying I think she's attractive, having a polite, fun little conversation, and usually leaving it at that. I have no huge desire to go and just waste my energy with women, and I think that's a really good thing, because one day I'm going to need to be able to support a family, and so why waste my youth doing things like that instead of actually being productive and setting up a foundation for me to stand on so that I can take care of said family that I will have in a few years. Make sense? Anyway, so that's just a little bit of the stuff that is in my head. And why do I do music? Music doesn't seem like a thing that could be very easy to monetize. Well, totally valid question. The thing about music is it's the one thing that I'm really good at. I'm not naturally talented when it comes to athletics. Although I am strong and fit, that's just because of the way I've built myself over the years, what I believe is important. And I can fight, doesn't mean it's natural for me to do kickboxing and such. A lot of that is kind of me really having to push myself to learn. But I am naturally good at music, and so I understand that if I can be an extremely professional musician, there is a huge potential for me to develop very well and make a lot of money, be able to set up my life in a really strong, powerful, kind of high status way. And although that's not the main drive that I should have for life, my main drive is to really just represent God and to be virtuous. That is a good and wise thing to do, is to work with the talents that God has given you. So that's why I've picked music, because that's what I'm good at. Anyway, I will move on to the next kind of set of stuff. I'll show you the cute little flower garden, the only really cool part of Chicago I got to see outside of the venue. We just didn't make our plans correctly in order to be able to see cool parts of Chicago besides that, so see ya.